Ooh, we out.
Yeah, we out.
So we're gonna go on to the next article. So WB and DC have confirmed Injustice: Gods Among Us is going to be an animated TV show. So what do you think of even more superhero TV shows coming, like just getting more popular, especially when now it's also related to a video game, which is another trend that's been going on a lot right now, is bringing that kind of stuff into television and back in movies. Danny?
Injustice is not a video game. I mean, sorry. Injustice is not just a video game. Injustice is a whole comic book series. The
Yeah.
game's based
Yes,
on
it
the
did.
comic books. Different.
Yes, it did. But we're talking about the game right now.
Yeah, but is it just because I read that? Is it? I know it's Injustice, so that everybody's thinking about the game, but
Yeah.
WB has a whole line of movies and shit that they've done all the time. Like
So
that's what they do.
the game exactly follows the comic book, and the only reason why I'm picking this article is because the game is involved. So I'm just wondering what your thoughts are of the TV show being done.
Uh, a TV show is a TV show or a movie? Sorry.
TV
TV
show.
show.
It's a series,
TV show.
animated
Oh,
series.
okay. Okay, that'd be cool. But either way, I think it's much cooler than a movie. But they do good. WB does great animes or cartoons or whatever you want to call them, like the Batman. You guys ever see the Batman Shanghai, whatever the fuck it
Any
was
of the
called?
Batmans,
They,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah, they that was awesome. The art style on that was just great. That they had like the Joker looking, gone back into that anime type style, and they do a great job at them. They can do whatever they want. Almost like even the Superman. What was it? He's a Russian. Like, what if
Oh
Superman
yeah,
landed in
Red
Russia
Sun.
instead?
Red Sun.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like,
Yeah.
it was a great. It just like the comic book, so they can stick more true to the comic in those series than they can in a movie. You know,
Hmm.
with all these bad directors because they give them way more leeway. So I think it's a great idea if you want to get that story, really get it going. You know,
mhm.
Yeah, it'll
and
definitely be more adult too, for a
people
storyline like that.
exactly, and people like those more adult storylines, like those why people like the Teen Titans and people like the Young Justice, and clamor for it to come back because they let them go more true towards the comics than they would if it was a really bad Snyder cut.
Mm-hmm.
What about Randy?
So I'm excited for it.
What about Kevin?
What about Bob?
You know that movie? What about Kevin?
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin,
Nice movie.
Randy,
Kevin, no
thoughts?
gear.
You have any thoughts?
No thoughts. Head empty. No kidding. Fucking the Injustice games were already a movie as it is, or like a show, I guess.
Yeah.
Because NetherRealm had that like weird thing after Mortal Kombat X where it's like just a playable movie.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I don't follow much of like the comic book stuff to be quite honest with you guys. It's
But you
cool, I
didn't really
guess,
play the
but
game, or you wasn't into the game much.
not only was I not like into the game much, but like no, yeah, that's really it
That's pretty
actually.
much it.
Yeah, no, because again, no, the layout it's the same. Like NetherRealm, what they did with Mortal Kombat, because okay, it was first Mortal Kombat in DC, then MKX, and then like the whole Injustice shit. It's just character A comes in, says one thing, character B comes in, says other thing, character A retorts, and then character B is like, oh, let's fight, and then you start with your typical Mortal Kombat bullshit, but with the DC skin over it.
Yeah.
So I think that's mainly what it was that like put me off of it as a whole.
I think you're
So,
simplifying it though. Like it was a
bro,
lot.
what?
It was a lot
Play
deeper than
play
that.
play MKX though. Play MKX
No,
and tell me
but
it's not the same bullshit.
Mortal Kombat, yes, it is the same bullshit, and I agree with you. But Injustice is a very different thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love the story for it.
Yeah, like
Wait,
they
the
All right,
story
really.
was
so
really
I'll give
good,
it another shot then.
I
but
had
I'm sorry, I'll
and
give
never
it a
then
I
shot.
had
the
never read. Go ahead, Danny.
the customization and it was really fun because
Okay.
you can it was almost had that RPG type element of like you put your chest and it gave you power. You can your clothes weren't just for show. It
Mm-hmm.
was when you're playing to upgrade your character. make him stronger.
So
And that aspect was way different from anything Mortal Kombat's ever done.
aside from the gameplay, the story is what got me wanting to read the comic afterwards because I didn't never read the comic until I played the game, and the game like focused on this huge like turning point for Superman because everyone knows Superman is this like goody goody
Boy
two
Scout.
shoes like
He's a Boy
perfect Boy
Scout.
Scout, and just this one thing that the Joker does makes him snap, and then the whole world, this whole universe turns upside down, and like there's this whole war between like it's kind of like civil war. Like there's these half of these superheroes who believe in Superman and what he's doing, and then there's another half who doesn't, and they're fighting against each other, and this whole political stuff going on. Like it's really good.
To be 100% fair and like straight like opinionative on this, I would much rather read these things than play a video game based off of them. Even if it's like a frame for frame, panel for panel, like adaptation of it, I would much rather read it. But that's just me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Definitely.
Kevin,
Yeah. So
and
yeah.
I know Kevin, you're into the fighting games. You probably played a lot more than most of us, I'm assuming. So what do you think?
Okay, so believe it or not, I'm not just a fighting game buff. I'm a comic fanatic, anime fanatic. I love it. I'm basically like a almost big ass nerd. So me watching
You mean nerd with the big ass, right?
big ass nerd, but me reading the comic because I read the comic through and through. I played the game, and like me watching an animated series, it was like it's like I felt like it should have been comic movie game rather than comic game movie. Like it feels so weird for like it to be made after the game rather than the game be made after the movie. But I'm excited for it. I just watched the Batman. What was it? What was it?
Bruce
Justice
Lee?
League Apocalypse? No.
Oh.
The most
No,
recent one I
this is
think is
the-
Long Halloween. Is that the one?
Yeah,
No,
I haven't
I
seen that one
watched.
yet, though.
I watched in what was it? Justice League the Apocalypse Dark World, the animated series,
Yeah.
and
Okay, that was on there.
if they can capture that, and that was like last year, and they can capture what that movie did to me.
Yeah,
That movie made me attached to no character because it was so crazy how they did it, and like it's like, oh, it's a DC, nobody's gonna die, and then it's like somebody gets killed, like you know what I mean, like consistent.
Mhm.
It's like every 30 seconds somebody's getting murdered. They can capture that, like that surprise factor, especially the series of Injustice. Injustice is not, it's so straightforward. Like
Yeah.
it's less confusing than Civil War. Civil War 2, hate it.
Civil War 2 Marvel?
Yes, I hate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I hate
that was
that.
really bad.
That was a really bad story.
They were just
Yeah.
trying to catch that spark from the first one, and it kind of failed.
They were.
Yeah.
yeah.
The first one was great when fucking was that
Amazing.
the giant man died, whatever his name.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I forget his name.
Yeah, the most worthless like.
That's what I was actually expecting with the movie. I was hoping like they were gonna kill somebody off, which is the reason why the war
Yeah.
stopped in the first place. And I thought it was gonna be
Well,
Rhodey, and they just ended up just
Yeah,
hurting him.
yeah, they can't kill off characters like that.
I get it. It's Disney.
Not that early.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
They
No,
did
no,
now.
no.
But they
Just
can
because,
kill-
mainly because it's Disney.
but they can kill off Killmonger. Come on, bro. It does not make
Well, he's a
sense.
villain though. He's not a
But
he's
he's
not
a
he's not a
villain.
pot- he's not a potential
you can't-
franchise.
Yeah.
But again, you.
Well, he
you
could have
kill-
been a potential
Yeah,
franchise.
like
but...
you kill off Thanos, you kill off Killmonger, like Tony
Just
Stark got
just remember though, in the comic books, you're never dead. So they could do the same thing with any character in the
It's
They
MCU.
could.
It's true. But final thoughts, I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to watch it. Big DC fan, love Batman.
Yeah. me too.
I would just want I just want to know how like if they capture they capture the spark, the all spark, of that entire series. That's all I need.
You're over here crossing genres and shit.
You know, man, I'm mixy. That's it.
All right, so we're gonna stop there.
Going to the
And
next one, I'm gonna get another beer.
all right, yeah.
Oh,
Actually, you guys want to take a break? Because I can make myself another drink real quick. Actually.
We'll be right back after
Yeah.
these messages.